Hi, Lauren and Anna. This is Mrs. Smith. I'm from Westbrook Middle School, and I happen to be very good friends with your band teacher, Miss Cody. And I'm the lucky one that gets to come and visit you guys in December and talk about flute playing. I hear you're doing amazing, and that hearing from a flute player would be helpful to both of you. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips right now just to kind of see and so you can hear from me before I come to visit, and then Miss Cody and I are going to chit chat between now and when I visit about the things that we think that you might want to try, things that would help advance your playing since you are ready for the next step, which is awesome. So I have here with me my student flute, so it looks a lot like yours. You're going to notice right away, and I think she probably teaches this to you, but I'm just going to remind you that my head joint is not pushed in all the way. This is what flute players do across the board, even professionals, to make our flutes play in tune. So you can see I don't have it out a ton, it's just a little bit, but it does help with the pitch of the flute, so you can double check that. You guys have pretty good playing position from what I saw in the video that Miss Cody sent me. So also just double check that your tone hole up here at the top is lined up straight line with your first finger key. It's very hard to see this on my screen. Maybe I could turn it that way. So that your keys are parallel to the ground and that you don't have to drop your chin to get the best sound. So that's really important too. So you want to double check those things. What I'm going to teach you guys today involves just the head joint, but you can try it with the next song that you do too. So I'm going to have it actually take off the head joint. We'll put it back on later. And what I want you to do is not cover the end of the flute. This is going to be a mirror image for you guys, so I apologize for that. But don't cover the end, and I want you to just see if you're getting the same sound that I am. Now, doing this in a mirror is actually really helpful because you can actually see the hole that I'm making in my embouchure, which is how I form my lip. So there's different size embouchures that we need depending on if we're playing low or we're playing high. So this is where the next part comes in. You're going to take your hand, the palm of your hand, cover the end. And you're going to play what I call to my flute students low tone. Watch my lip again. You can see how the hole is a lot wider. And inside my mouth, I'm making the inside of my mouth pretty big so that I can actually blow the air pretty strong and still get a low sound. And then the opposite of that is what I call high tone. So you actually do cover the end again. You're going to bring your lips together more. You're going to make your corners really, really, really firm. And this embouchure hole is now going to be very small. And that is going to help you with your higher notes. So this action that I do, it's very easy to figure out if you're doing it right with the head joint because it won't create the correct sound, low tone or high tone, unless you're doing the right thing with your lip. So this is great practice all the time. I do it with my students almost every class when I have a flute class because it just helps remind them where their lips are supposed to be. And there's other things that we can kind of add to that, which I can show you guys when I see you in flute class. To make your lip a little bit more flexible. It's sort of like Miss Cody's a trumpet player, so she'll tell you about lip slurs. It's like the best thing that you can do for trumpet playing to get your flexibility and your sound to be better. This is really where everything happens that's important with the flute, and then it transfers to when we have all of our keys in use. So, okay, so another thing we can do with our head joint is basically prevent ourselves from breathing in between every note. So say you have 4 quarter notes, all right, and I'm just going to not cover the end so you can see me do this with just my head joint. So say you have 4 quarter notes. That's one way of playing quarter notes where they're kind of all separated. Another thing you can try is play a whole note and then you're going to tongue 4 times, but still keep your air going through like you're playing a whole note. So now I'm going to play a whole note. My air is going to keep going. But I'm going to add my tongue so it will sound like this when I'm playing. The whole time my air is still coming out of my mouth. And that's when I'm playing pretty long or full-length notes, not staccato notes. transfer that to my flute. I'm going to pick an easier note to do this on, so I'm going to start with the note D, whole note, and then 4 quarter notes. And what's important is that your air does not stop, so you just keep going with your air the whole time, and that your tongue is what's going to start each note, as opposed to your air starting each note. So we don't want it to sound like this, where there's breaks in between. We want to take a deep breath and then no matter what song you're playing, you can take a deep breath and maybe play for a whole measure or two. I'm hoping that was number 62, but I'll be honest with you girls, I didn't look at the music. I just remember teaching it from a while ago, so if I made a mistake, I'm really sorry. But you can check that out in that exercise number 62 when you're practicing your A flat, that you're keeping your air going in that measure, and when you have to play all of those eighth notes, it may help the sound of it. It's going to make you sound like an older player. It's going to make you sound a little bit more mature, which is amazing, and you guys are totally ready for that based on what I heard in your playing. So that's the tip for today. I will certainly do more if you want me to do more, and good luck. Happy practicing.